So we're going to start with Juventus versus Barcelona. Let's read the outrights here. Powered by Bet365. Juventus 2.62, Barcelona 2.88, and draw 3.4. So you could hardly split this. Juventus at home can be a force. They have been a force this season. Barcelona on the road. Looking towards a Juventus win, to be honest with you, but I think this could be really close. It could be even a draw. Going to start with you, Alex. What are your thoughts just right now on the outrights?
Really tough match to call. I think that is the toughest match to call from these four matches that are taking place this week. The bad news for Barcelona is that they will have the same referee as their 4-0 defeat in France with PSG. So the Polish Szymon Marciniak, if I'm reading correct, is the referee of this first leg at Juventus Stadium. Yeah, Juventus is a really big force, as you said, when they are playing home, and it will be no surprise if we will see them winning against Barcelona. The funny thing is Barcelona doesn't matter with the result from the first half. They will say everything in the second half. So I'm expecting a match full of opportunities from both sides. I think that even though they will play out, Barcelona will have the possession, but it will be tougher for them than they are expecting. So yeah, home win is interesting, but my top tip comes from the goals market.
Yeah, and interesting, this is obviously a rematch of the 2015 final. Barca won 3-1, but Barcelona have not beaten Juventus on their own turf, so definitely going to be close. Big man, any thoughts on the outrights right now?
I mean, I think we can all agree Barcelona form-wise hasn't been particularly good lately. I mean, you look at over the weekend, lose to Malaga in La Liga. They haven't been good on the road, and you're playing, if not the best home team in the world. I mean, you look at what Juventus has done at home lately. 15 straight wins in Turin. They've also won 21 of 23, the two coming as draws. For me, they haven't surrendered a goal in 351 minutes. It's hard for me to go against those numbers. I think here in the first leg, I think they get the job done. I'm going to take them outright. I just don't like what I'm seeing from Barcelona lately. And we have to also point out, Lionel Messi does not seem happy. I don't know if people heard his post-game comments. You mentioned several players need to be dropped. I would agree with him. Matteo has been awful. But yeah, it's hard for me to get into Barcelona, even though they are one of the best teams in the world. I think Juventus gets the job done here at home, a place they just don't lose at.
Yeah, exactly. It's that home advantage, isn't it? And Martin, what about that 2-0 defeat Barcelona suffered at Malaga over the weekend? Does that give any indication of sort of the match that we'll see tomorrow? Were they resting players? Obviously, we had Neymar sent off. Does that give you, if anybody say who wanted to bet Barcelona, would that match give you doubt, or what are you thinking of the outrights?
I think you raised an interesting point there. Did they rest players? No, they didn't rest players. They played the strongest starting 11 that was available to them at the time, and it still wasn't good enough for them to beat Malaga. While at the same time, Juventus rested. They rested Bonucci. They rested Chiellini. So they rested 2/3 of what is the most formidable defence in Europe, because they have a 6-point gap at the top of Serie A. Whereas Barcelona don't have that luxury. They're fighting tooth and nail with Real Madrid for the title. So I think that could help swing things in favour of Juventus. It really is a fascinating game. You've got an immovable force meets an unstoppable object, the world's best defence against the world's best attack. I mean, Juventus have all these crazy statistics about how well they're defending, but that does tend to go out the window when Messi, Neymar and Suarez roll into town. They've proved it time and time again. I think Juventus should score, because Barcelona are terrible defensively at the moment. So it'll just be whether those players can break down a very strong Juventus defence. But I think this leg could just swing in favour of Juventus. I'd probably go Juventus draw no bet, 1.85.
Yeah, Martin, with you on that one. That is the way that I'm going to play the outrights as well. Totally agree with you. Big man, Juventus at home, undefeated, really are a force. Juventus draw no bet definitely is my option, 1.8. But Alex, you were saying goals. You're looking at the goals market. We've got some interesting comments, and that was a very interesting comment as well from Martin. We've got a great defense against a great attack. Our commenters here are looking more towards both teams to score over 2.5 goals. What are you looking at in this match?
Yeah, first of all, I want to say that I love what Benjamin from Melbourne, Australia is saying that all 4 games from Champions League to have over 2.5 goals in each one of them sounds a really good parlay. But regarding this game, I think that even though they are on the road and even though their performance against Malaga was really poor, I think that I was seeing that 4-0 defeat against PSG like that Barcelona were playing. I think that this one is crucial for them. So I
Hmm.
think that they can find the back of the net against Juventus at Juventus Stadium. So both teams to score looks really incredible. 1.77 looks really good. So this is my official tip for this match.
Okay, both teams to score, like it, and it also covers for a possible draw, which this could be. Big man, what is your official tip?
I'm going to go with Juventus straight up. I'm going to go, what do we have here? 2.62. I'm going to take a shot with them here. I just can't really get into what Barcelona's done, particularly on the road. I mean, they just haven't played that well. I'm not going to go against some of the numbers. I think Alex makes a good point. I think they will score. I think it's a 2-1 game, but I'm going to go Juventus. I like what I've seen from them. They have probably one of the probably the best goalkeeper in the world. He wasn't really challenged too much in their last game. Obviously, you mentioned, Martin, some of the guys that got some rest, Bonucci and Chiellini. I'm going to take a shot here with the outright win. I think they get the job done at home.
All right, straight up outright win. Interesting as well. Just want to quickly cover there's not much value actually on the to qualify market in this match. You've got Barca 1.53 and then Juventus 2.62. Now, our friend Stuart from Tipster HQ, he's been backing Juventus all the way. So Juventus 2.62 could be the way that he would take at the to qualify market. But judging how Barca,
I just wanted to point out, I have a 10-1 future on Juventus to win this whole tournament. So I'm actively rooting for this side, clearly. So I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, that's Stuart from Tipster HQ as well. He's all from I think from the very beginning when we were doing before the first ball had been kicked on the Champions League pitch. He was going for Juventus as well. So that could be, that there could be some value in that. I'm just worried the way that Barcelona turned things around against PSG at home. I think if this was the other way around,
Here's one thing I wanted to point out. I mean, they didn't play well in the first leg of that group. They also were down in that match and had to come back furiously at home. I mean, that's just one of those games where you kind of just throw out what happened. I mean, they just got really lucky and were able to come back, but they haven't played well in this tournament. They haven't played well really lately. They're losing to sides that they shouldn't lose to. Deportivo, Malaga, you mentioned. They're just not in that good a form right now. I don't know how.
Yeah, but it's true what you guys are saying. But remember that we're talking about Barcelona, so
Sure, I hear you.
it doesn't matter the bad streak or a bad day or whatever. I think that if those free from the attacking will be focused 100%, and if they will catch a good day, I think that they can destroy any team in this world.
Sure.
They can, but I think that the key word here is if they are on a good day, and
Best
if what they
defense in
can
the world
is
they're playing now.
With Messi as well, not in. But Alex, would you take Barcelona to qualify, or would you take Juventus to qualify?
No, against I would take Barcelona to qualify against any team from the quarterfinals, but beside Juventus, I'm not going to play the qualifying market against Juventus because Juventus are really constant. I think that they are the most constant team in Europe right now, which offers them motivation and determination, and they will enter really determined to go further. So it's hard to predict the qualifying team from this double leg.